everybody, it's the Catharsis Crew, and believe it or not, I have kissed a girl upside down, and my name is Eli Laborde Martin.
My name is Daniel Hernandez. I'm a former employee at Joe's Pizza.
I am Elijah Infante, and go Web Go!
It's your boy David, aka Dust Boy. I don't feel good, Mr. Stark.
I'm the new kid on the block. I'm Mickey Meyer, and as always, you gotta move the cranes for the Spider-Man.
So, we recently just saw Spider-Man Into the Spider...
If you couldn't guess.
Spiderverse a couple months ago, and we're going to go all around. Oh, and by the way, Mickey is a new guy here.
It's true.
He's a big Spidey boy fan. He wears Spider-Man underwear every single day.
And socks.
Nice. So let's just go in a circle and just give our general opinion about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Universe.
General thoughts. I thought this movie was good. Not the best Spider-Man movie. That's reserved for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, but it is a good step up into the Spider-Man film franchise. I think this is the right direction for the but for not just Spider-Man films, but also animated films.
Was good, 8 out of 10, would watch again.
I'd say it was a really good movie, and it hit all those good points and hinting towards people that like the comics and people who like Spider-Man in general.
Well, I know this is like the newest one for Sony, and I was really excited because it's the newest Sony one, and after Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were really hinting at Sinister Six, so I thought that we were gonna get a little bit of that in this one, but I gotta say I'm pretty disappointed.
So you were excited for The Amazing Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to, or like at least some reference to that. They made a bunch of references to different Spider-Man movies, but they didn't really talk about Amazing
Were you
Spider-Man.
looking forward to the Amazing Spider-Man cinematic universe where there was going to be an Aunt May solo film?
Oh,
no
man.
joke. There was going to be an Aunt...
There was going to be an Aunt May?
Yeah, like she was going to be like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent or something. No, not a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent because the MCU doesn't exist in that franchise. But she was going to be like an agent, and it was going to be about her.
She's going to be part of the KGB.
That would have been so cool. Holy shit.
Nice. No, I thought the movie was a really good film, especially for animation because I'm a sucker for good animation, especially ones that kind of break the boundary. Even though I do have to say that there's some choices with how they animated some portions that I thought were a little weird.
Like what?
Especially, so I don't know if you noticed, but there's some backgrounds that look like they're supposed to have a 3D effect.
Yeah.
But they're not, and there are multiple times in the film where I thought that I was in the wrong theater and I was watching a 3D film because there was these weird background images that would make that like translucent effect, and it kind of hurt my eyes a little bit.
At first I thought it was just a projector, but I think...
No, that was just like, I think that was just what they were going for, like the style.
Yeah, I think they were just... You're talking about the scene where they had the blue-red kind of hues where it...
Well, no, not a particular scene, but there's some scenes where if you look in the background, especially the edge of buildings or some billboards, it has a translucent effect where it looks like you're watching a 3D movie.
Without the glasses.
Without the glasses.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I know this is a very controversial opinion, but I think this is the best representation of Miles Morales as a character. Because, Miles Morales made his debut in Brian Michael Bendis' comics. And the way Brian Michael Bendis would always write Miles Morales, I didn't like it. Because Miles Morales didn't have a character. All of his lines literally consisted of, gee, what would Peter do? But in this film, he actually has a personality. He's not a huge suck up to Peter. He actually wants to think for himself. And the line that really encapsulates this is when Peter Parker says don't do it like me, do it like you.
Well, that's why a lot of people do argue that the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best Spider-Mans, if not the best Spider-Man, because it explores a topic that none of the Spider-Mans have yet, and even the beloved Sam Raimi Spider-Mans have not really talked about, is that it doesn't matter who's under the mask of Spider-Man, anybody can be it, just as long as you have the will to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going for, just to inspire a bunch of kids, because...
Diversity done right.
Right,
guys.
Yeah, really
Disney, Sony knows how to make a diverse film without being annoying.
So do you guys know what the B in Peter B. Parker stands for?
Peter Benjamin Parker.
No, Peter Burrito Parker, because there was Peter A. Parker, which died, and Peter B. Parker, who
spoilers.
lived.
Yes.
Oh, well,
If you're watching this review, it's because you can't come up with your own thoughts about it, so you're listening to this podcast to see what other people thought about your film.
Yeah, our opinions are more important than yours just because we're recording it.
Yeah, yeah.
just so you know.
And it's on a website
It's
that's
on a website.
free.
It's free, yeah, exactly.
I was surprised since we're already going to spoiler territory, I do want to discuss that one scene where Kingpin just freaking crushes Spider-Man with his bare hands.
Oh yeah, that was epic.
I actually liked it, not because like Spider-Man died, but I was surprised to actually like see like actual
man.
consequence.
I mean, I like when animated films go pretty edgy. You know?
Well, not just that, but just showing consequences for actions.
yeah, I thought that they were gonna cop out and have Peter live, but nope.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
bad boy.
Kingpin's design in
Oh,
general.
yes!
Like, unit.
Like,
So he has like no neck, and his like face is like to his chest.
Like from his forehead to the top of his back, there's so much free space, and I'm wondering like what would that be on the human body? Because he's a literal square with a face in the middle of it.
It would be like the Hunchback of
yeah,
Notre Dame.
exactly.
Yeah.
He just has I think he has extra vertebrates and like from his spine connecting to his head because he doesn't have a neck, obviously.
I mean, by far my favorite character design I've ever seen for an animated film.
Yeah, best villain.
No, when speaking of villains, when they introduced Doc Ock, that was such a cool way to introduce Doc Ock. That it was like a woman and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's
I
like you
know.
did not see it coming at all.
No, I didn't.
I thought she was just gonna be some nerdy scientist who had like a fascination with Spidey,
I
but
had
then
the
it's like,
hots for Spidey.
Yeah, and then like that happened, and like I feel like the entire like animation changed, and it was like all like green and like purple kind of, you know, and it was just like, oh shit, this is like it feels like a bot Spidey at sometimes.
I
you
also
know?
really liked the tentacles that she had because shut up, shut up, you
No,
Asian
yeah,
boy.
yeah. It's
Elijah's laughing at
they
me.
weren't like
because-
mechanical. They were like
They're plastic with like air.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is that the tentacles look cool because it was instead of mechanical, it's more like air tubes.
I also like
and
how
they
her
move.
design is a lot more agile than like previous Doc Ock. How she's slim and slender and she goes for the agility rather than for the brute force.
Yeah, like the clankety clank of old ones.
And before I get into negatives, I do want to say one great positive. I know this is a Miles
Wait,
Morales
can you
story.
say that?
What?
Okay, you said negatives. Just make
I'll get into negatives eventually, but I do want to say a good positive, like about this.
Don't worry, David gave us the N card, as in for negative card.
Oh, Mr. Negative from Spider-Man PS4. Anyway, I also enjoyed Peter Parker's character, not the one from who like died, but like the Peter that
Fat Peter.
What?
Remember
What?
Fat Peter?
He has so much character. He dies in the first.
well,
And he's blonde.
but I actually liked Peter's journey in this movie because it's a Peter Parker I've been wanting to see like on film, like
Yeah,
an
the one
older,
that has a midlife
depressed,
crisis.
like fed up with like being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And
He was
kinda-
also a New Girl, so
Oh yeah.
for all the New Girl fans out there who's listening to this podcast, you know.
Yep. And
Go back to CBS.
Hey,
And I like how like it's kind of like a
give out
journey
our
of Peter
advertising.
Parker rediscovering what makes him Spider-Man, because he's also trying to teach Miles Morales what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, but at the same time Peter Parker is also relearning that. So there's a great dichotomy between those two.
Yeah, so I think he's learning, like, that you don't have to. He's not the only one. Well, the biggest thing is like he's not the only one, and he can depend on other people.
Well, not just that, but he also just kind of rediscovers himself, because he's not really the Peter Parker that we know. He's like cynical. He doesn't even want to save the universe at first. He just wants to get back to his own.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another good thing for me is that I like how they changed their style, not too rapidly, but with every single character on screen. Like with Penny, it was a lot more
Anime.
yeah.
and like with Noir, it's a lot darker, but it's like almost a subtle shift from like the Miles Morales Spider-Man main film to like all the rest of those.
And it's definitely not jarring. It's like a good when they introduce each one.
It's as if you're watching a comic book unfold in front of you. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Sony, even though the Spider-Man film was a great success for Sony, they tried patenting the animation style so that no other studio could try to replicate or just be inspired by that style of animation that requires both 3D, 2D, and combining the two together and making a more comic book style. Sony tried patenting it so that no one could replicate it.
Hasn't it
Just a
been
little-
done before though?
I mean, when you think about it, Scott Pilgrim has some editing that's a little bit like that, if I remember correctly.
Yep. There's also a couple other films that blended kind of that cartoonish style look with like kind of like more cartoon base and then changing different styles within cartoons.
Like the Nickelodeons when they had like the change between like Timmy Turner.
Gumball. Gumball
Yeah,
does
Gumball.
that. The Teen Titans Go movie actually did that a couple times.
Or like when Timmy Turner and Jimmy Neutron,
Ah,
those
yeah,
classic
Timmy Jimmy Power Hour.
So-
How could you forget? You
Never
should be
forget.
banished.
I should be.
But anyway, I'm gonna say some negatives. Now, I don't think this movie is bad, but at the same time, there are a few parts that I wish could have been fixed to make the film even better for me. I know this is also another controversial opinion. The film's soundtrack, like the
Could have been better.
main composition, like was great, but whenever they relied on licensed music, I felt the film took a backseat.
Yeah,
Sunflower's okay, but there's a certain part when, after Peter dies, they play this Lil Wayne song, and I feel like it kind of like takes the oomph out of the like situation.
I couldn't disagree no more.
I
Like,
mean,
honestly,
I see where Daniel's coming from because there was a scene that had a Biggie Smalls song, and it distracted David so much he started dancing next to me in the movie theater.
So I was just waiting for that song because I like the song.
2 times before.
Wait, you saw it? You saw it before?
How?
Because when I had gone back, I had already watched it.
Like it works when
Wait,
We watched it on the release
we
date.
made it.
Oh, wait, never mind. I meant I saw it 2 times after.
Looks like we're doing another
David-
highlight.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Anyway, but
hey, I'm
you're-
pretty sure what David just unwittingly revealed to us is that he's actually a time traveler, and that was almost
Oh wait, what if we got duped?
yeah, we could have been duped. You know?
I'd probably have to say that, at some moments, I feel like the original composed soundtrack is way better than the licensed music because it just fits the film way better than just.
Yeah, I know they're trying to give the film an identity, but the original composition does that for itself. Like I think "What's Up, Danger" was okay, like decently implemented, but I liked the bombastic orchestra that was playing. It's like, oh, this is Spider-Man. But
I mean,
Prowler's intro music is like.
yes, I was about to say that Prowler's music was really good. And
Was he a character from Spider-Man before, or was this like the first
Yeah,
time?
he's
talk to the comic experts.
Yeah, he's a
about that, 'cause I
character
don't
from
know.
Spider-Man.
Well, it's because when the Prowler was being shown on screen, I honestly thought that he was just another version of Spider-Man from
Yeah,
another universe.
that's
and
what I thought too.
And I was hoping that would be like that, but no, comics take the lead, so it had to be Miles Morales.
There was another version of Spider-Man. If you guys.
Yeah,
Watching that?
he looked like a Batman Beyond. Spider-Man.
yeah, that's Spider-Man 2099. It's basically Batman Beyond, but for Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2099 was at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Very
stay
end.
because we were going to go see Mortal Engines afterwards.
Where's the
Thanks,
podcast?
Elijah.
Where's the podcast about Immortal Engines?
Wait, what?
Where's the podcast about Immortal Engines? Come on.
We're not doing that. No.
That would just be us
Saying the movie is
talking
bad.
about that whole entire.
Yeah, that movie was
It
awful.
was 100% off.
It looked like Howl's moving at the castle.
It would have been
looked
amazing
lit.
if that was what it was.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it was focused around characters rather than cities eating each other.
Not characters, dumb
And I'm
characters.
a vor enthusiast, and I was upset.
Do you care about spoilers, Mickey?
For
Mortal Engines?
I feel like in like 2 years I'm gonna watch that on an airplane or so, and it's gonna
And
be
you're
like
going
it's
to
gonna
cry.
and it's gonna be up there with like Jupiter Ascending, like on my list of
Do
like.
you want us to say?
Wait, you haven't seen Jupiter Ascending
I haven't
yet,
s-
right?
I haven't seen Jupiter
But
Ascending.
you're like really hyped to see
I'm really
it.
hyped to see
Why?
that. I'm also super hyped.
Ascending isn't that bad though. I mean, it's not a really good.
Do you want?
David, oh
But it'd be
my
a
God.
movie
If I saw the $5 event at Walmart, I'd pick it up.
Why would you even spend
Jupiter
$5
Ascending-
on that? That is too much.
It's like one of the worst Wachowski siblings movie ever.
I love the Wachowskis, but let's bring it back to Spider-Man.
Okay. But anyway, the soundtrack, while the original orchestra was good, I did feel like the licensed music did kind of like tamper with it. Like Sunflower's okay because it's kind of like Miles' theme, but then like I'm Not Scared of the Dark by Lil Wayne, I don't know, that scene just works better with maybe even no music. Just like you just hear the news anchor.
See, for me at least, I would have to see 2 parts of the movies to see like without
see it without the music and then see it with the music.
Why don't you just like plug your ears?
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, I mean, well, you couldn't because you said with a recorder.
Maybe just a simple piano or something. Like it just works better than instead of Lil Wayne.
Oh, hey, guess what? You can go on YouTube, search something up, and don't pirate the film.
I can't believe we've gone this far without talking about why Peter Porker's hand was so wet. Like,
Yeah, why was his hand wet?
for those who are not watching and in this room, Elijah did some type of a hand gesture that can only be imagined.
What?
What are you
I'm
talking
sorry.
But the
what?
liquid was blue. It wasn't. You bleep it in the editing so that it's funny.
Okay.
Daniel.
Just okay. Can you do a podcast where you just bleep everything that I say out?
I mean, you can. You can do it in
We
this
can.
one.
Hey, when we're gonna edit like the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Most of us can't even air.
Yeah, exactly.
oh my god, it's lovely. Yeah, but there's certain things that contracted music codes. For example, when Penny was working on the Goober, that's a contracted song, actually. It wasn't part of the original playlist.
Yeah, that's where I'm saying it's like not all, but some of it. Like that scene again where Peter Parker dies. I don't need to hear Lil Wayne telling me I'm not scared of the dark.
But what if
Hey,
he is just scared of the dark and he's just trying to tell you?
Hey, but don't forget about his signature apple pie.
Yeah. At first, I thought the entire soundtrack was done by Post Malone because all the songs sounded like a Post Malone song.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I thought it was really cool because like it was like a similar thing with The Grinch or whatever, where Tyler put out that.
Oh.
I mean, at one point, I was shocked that Post Malone could do such a really good Biggie Smalls impersonation
you know.
for that Biggie Smalls song that he did, that cover of Biggie Smalls. Yeah.
And then also, there also were some pacing issues for me.
Oh yeah.
There were parts where the film actually went too fast. Do you guys feel that
Too
way?
many bright colors at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If there's another thing I didn't like about the animation was, I mean, there was a 3D effect, and also I was thinking, oh man, if you don't have a good state of mind,
If you're not epileptic.
yeah, if you have epilepsy, do not watch this film because it is really bright.
Or do if you want a death sentence or something
Yeah,
like
if you
that.
want to die, yeah, sure.
I mean, go out with a bang.
Like I wish this film had the pacing. I don't know if you guys ever seen this movie. It's called The Iron Giant. It was directed by Brad Bird.
Oh, this.
No, I've never seen that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, that's such.
I don't want to remember that film.
That's such an
Oh,
obscure film. Where are you pulling that from?
You know that's Vin
Where's
Diesel.
the robot's location?
But still, like I like the pacing in that film where I don't know, each scene kind of served a purpose, and like each scene like transitioned fluidly. Like in this film, I don't know, like the beginning goes like this very fast, and then I think at the ending, the pacing actually started like slowing down. It was actually like going well. Did you guys feel that? Because
I do love that, you know,
I feel
that
like-
slow moment, you know, spoilers, that he was talking to his dad and the pacing kind of like slowed down until like he, you know.
Yeah, it actually like allowed the scene to have impact.
I feel like the ending fight did go a little bit fast though, just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to like feel like the stakes because like the setup is good. I just felt the execution in certain areas of those fight scenes could have been done better.
Well, the Kingpin fight I felt was really, really like drawn out and decent with him, with Miles and Kingpin at the very end. I'd have to disagree with you. I felt like the fight was decently paced, especially when he was, you know, losing, and then he did the hay.
I mean, if you want to watch a good fight, there's this anime called My Hero Academia. It's basically all just punching until you win.
But
Those
nothing
are
holds-
good fights. Those are punches filled with emotion. You can feel the weight behind
I
every
think
single.
my favorite fight scene in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was at Aunt May's house because
That
the
was
camera went all over the place.
Yeah.
It was like doing like a one-shot trick. Like,
Yeah, it was really neat because it felt like a.
It felt like Edgar.
it's not your stereotypical setup for a
right.
superhero fight.
It's like
a,
okay. Remember in Kingsman that
church
church
scene?
church
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
It was like that, but animated with superheroes, and that was great. But yeah, I would say like the first fight scene and the last one are just a little weak, but they're still pretty.
like nothing
nice
holds
to
a
look
candle
at.
to the Spider-Man 2 train fight. Like that is like
Spider-Man versus Train.
Oh,
Who
you mean
will
the
win?
Amazing Spider-Man 2? I don't remember. Train
No.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 had a pretty good fight scene, especially
When
when Gwen
Spider-Man
breaks.
3 and that scene where he was in if he was in a jazz bar. That was,
And then he just hits his girlfriend.
oh yeah, that was 10 out of 10, man.
You remember when Gwen Stacy broke her neck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I liked
He catch his cell phone, but not.
I saw that meme.
They also did a really good job of like not having another origin story. You know, like I feel like
Yes.
we can applaud them
yeah.
on that because
Yeah.
like everyone knows what it's about, and it was kind of tongue in cheek. Which was
Yeah.
I also
appreciated.
like how it was so chill. Like he got bit by a spider and he was like, "Oh, this is fine," and then just walks off like whatever.
Exactly.
I'm
That
glad
was-
that Miles Morales has both of his parents.
Yeah.
That's not a racist joke. It's actually a superhero joke.
Yeah,
Because most superheroes either have no parents or just one parent.
like Superman, his parents are gone. His
Yeah.
whole planet's gone. But Batman,
He got adopted though. So
yeah,
he
but
had
his whole
parents.
planet, his whole race is gone. And then you got like Batman, his parents were killed. All of them, they're just gone.
So this is a tangent or whatever, but by I think it's the dude who did Guardians of the Galaxy. He's making a new movie called like Bright Star or something like that, and it's literally the same storyline as Superman, where like some family, like there's a kid that just crashes down,
I've
and
seen the trailer for
yeah,
that.
it looks
amazing.
it looks really cool.
Wait,
But-
James Gunn?
No, James Gunn. Yeah.
Wait, is it the one with Oh wait, never mind.
Are you?
Yeah,
I'm not
but
thinking
the-
the same film.
Wait, what is it called?
I think it's like Bright
I need to check it out.
something, but it's
Is it
not
Bright
not
on
Bright.
Netflix?
But
Oh,
it's,
ugh.
yeah, not that. But it's like the kids.
Amazing.
No, it's not.
Alright, David, you just don't talk for like another 5 seconds about that fucking movie. But yeah, it's like the kid is like bad though. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
like-
Oh, you're talking about Megamind.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. That's what I was explaining that to my brother, and he said it's just
Is it
Megamind.
Despicable Me?
Exactly, it's amazing.
But funny because it's like this little kid that's like actually killing people.
Yeah, it's like Chronicle kind of, you know.
Oh,
that's what
remember
vibes it gave
Chronicle.
me.
Chronicle was alright.
Chronicle 2. There was a plan for Chronicle 2, but it never happened.
Yeah, because
We
Max
got Fan
Landis
4
is the
Stick
biggest.
instead. Isn't that great?
We got what?
Fan 4 Stick.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, this film kind of felt like the ultimate Spider-Man tribute in some ways, more than the film, in my opinion. Yeah, well, not just anybody who's just a fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, if
Whether
you're a
you-
fan of the Tobey Maguire films, then the
It's got
Peter,
references.
then they even used flat out the same audio of Uncle Ben saying, "With great power comes great responsibility" in the intro.
That's hilarious. I think
I mean, if you're a fan of the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans, then you should probably just leave this earth.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
there wasn't. Oh yeah, there wasn't even.
I
a
feel
reference.
very attacked right now.
I mean,
Good.
okay.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is an amazing film because in the intro it showed what happened to Peter's family. Like
And then
I
they
really
never-
cared what happened.
Don't
to
you
Peter's
mean it-
family.
Yeah, and also Paul Giamatti had the great. He was Rhino, and it was just amazing.
yes.
He has a great
Aren't
Russian
you
accent.
glad-
I am the Rhino.
That was my background for the longest time. Just his face, just
Like screaming.
screaming. It's-
Aren't you guys glad about the dubstep battle, though?
Oh yeah, he
and
lied
did
to me.
He did
He
the
lied
itsy
to
bitsy,
me.
itsy bitsy spider, and he was like, "I hate that song." Remember that,
lied
Mickey?
to
That was
me.
a great
He
scene.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
I
and
like-
Jamie Foxx was in
Jamie
it.
Foxx played a virgin.
I saw myself on screen.
And I like how getting those powers fixes the gap between his teeth.
Oh yeah.
Well, they couldn't animate that gap.
I mean, Tobey Maguire, it fixed his like eyesight. He like
Oh, yeah,
instantly got
true.
abs
That's
and
true.
also got taller. So I mean,
Because of that glasses scene, it became a meme template.
Yeah, if spiders are known for one thing, it's their awesome six-pack.
Yeah. Also, we haven't talked about the whole like love thing with Gwen Stacy.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they didn't
I
like.
like how it was non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like
Yeah.
I mean, if you
friends.
read the subtext of the ending of the film, they probably went to her dimension.
Yeah. I mean, in this universe, I know that Miles Morales is gay, but that's just another. There's a lot of
Wait, what?
things
Wait,
underneath.
he's gay?
Yeah, you
Miles
didn't. You
Morales?
didn't pick up on those subtle. Okay, you
Was
know
that in the
that's
film?
that's another podcast.
It's in the film,
But hey,
Oh yeah, that's also a good meme
That's, yeah,
template.
that's a good name.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Wow.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I feel like this felt part of it just felt like a video game movie. Which
Yeah.
I mean like not a bad one. Like it felt like parts of it was a video game, and I was like, this is really
It
cool.
felt like Ratchet and Clank the movie.
Oh, I wish I saw
Those are
that.
all cinematic scenes in the video game.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
But I think this is one
They
of my
thought they were
favorite
gonna make money
Spider-Man
off of
movies.
it.
No, comparing all the Spider-Man movies, where would this rank for you? Like in comparing all the Spider-Man movies, I'll go last. Whoever wants to go first and rank their Spider-Man movies.
So all the Spider-Man movies that exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go first. I'd rank Spider-Man 3, the very first trilogy, as my favorite Spider-Man, and then Into the Spider-Verse, then followed by 2 and 1. I just really like the first set, and then after the first Spider-Man movie, because I don't really particularly like the first one all too much.
Wait, the 2002 one?
Yeah,
It's a classic.
Yeah, well, I like the third one of that trilogy better than the first, but because I just love it for like, how bad it is.
And also he has a sand fetish.
Oh yeah.
And then
James
I'd
Franco's
say
in that,
Tobey
too.
Maguire would be after the first Spider-Man, and then followed by the Andrew Garfield. So,
Wait, we got an Andrew Garfield 1 or 2.
I mean, I like the first one better than the second one because I don't think Andrew Garfield needed to have a second Spider-Man movie, but
Did you talk about the Tom Holland ones?
yes, I did.
Okay.
I said his film, well, his one film would be after.
Mickey, you can go ahead and rank your Spidey Boy films.
I'm going to rank number 1 as Spider-Man's appearance in Civil War. I think that was probably the best.
The most
Spider-Man-
character building?
The most character building, and also the part in Spider-Man 2. Oh, this is a tie for number 1. The part in Spider-Man 2 where it's just Willem Dafoe in a mirror. I really like that part.
Avenge me.
Yeah, avenge me. Yeah, I really like that part. The part in Spider-Man 3 where it's like the beginning where Sandman, his like origin story was kind of.
Oh
funny.
yeah, when he finally becomes Sandman. I will say that scene is actually well done.
Yeah, it's really cool because he's like.
Disintegrating first, and then he has to reform himself. I actually like that.
Yeah, and, like,
because
the pigeon
originally Sandman was just supposed to be the villain in Spider-Man 3. It was just supposed to be him, but then Sony kept pushing him to make Venom.
Yeah, and then third on the list is the after credits scene from Amazing Spider-Man 2, of course, where it sets up because it has the dude from Chronicle in it, setting up like the Sinister Six movie that never came to pass, unfortunately. Yep. And then fourth is this movie that we saw, just because the soundtrack is really good. And then the rest. I
All
don't
right,
care about.
who's going next for ranking their Spider-Man movies?
Elijah, you can go.
All right. So, going from bottom to top, I'd say the Andrew Garfield movies, I'd say 1 then 2, because honestly, 1 just kind of felt a little bit long. I don't remember it that well. Though.
Wait, was the first one? Was that the one where like there's a gas
It's a
that's being
lizard.
disseminated? Oh yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's
The one with the
tied for
Geico
number 4.
Gecko.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really cool. I really like that.
And then from there, I'd probably go Sam Raimi, like 3, then 2, then 1. Then probably Spider-Man Homecoming, then Into the Spider-Verse. Then at number 1, the Japanese-made Spider-Man movie from 1978.
It's not
Who
a movie.
Could
It's
forget that
it's
classic.
it's not a movie. It's a series.
No, there's
No,
been a movie.
it's a TV movie.
There's been a movie.
Yeah.
There was.
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought that was just
Yeah.
like a show.
No, yes,
Nope.
it is. Well, I'm going to do the same thing Elijah did. It's going to be from bottom to top. At the very, very bottom, my least favorite Spider-Man, I'm going to have to say, well, Andrew Garfield.
Well, he was also the most bottom out of all the
But
Spider-Mans.
the only reason why he's at the bottom is because he's the hottest Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is not supposed to be hot. Every time I see Spider-Man, I'm supposed to think of a sweaty little virgin boy who has no friends, but is a superhero. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better than Amazing Spider-Man 1 by a landslide. Then I would say Sam Raimi trilogy. I think the second one's like my favorite, and I'm gonna say the 1 and 3. But they're all close together because I all think all movies are equally good. But the second one is better by a little bit. Into the Spider-Verse I really like because animation makes me happy. But by far the best Spider-Man movie was the trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home.
Oh, what?
That just dropped.
Not even the Japanese.
I don't even want to see the movie. I just like the trailer.
Not
I
even
just
the
like Jake
Japanese
Gyllenhaal's
version?
in it. He's
Oh yeah.
it pisses me off that
He plays
Mysterio
him.
doesn't have that.
I know. Like,
He
put on your
does.
stupid helmet.
No, he does.
Yeah, but like at the end, but like when he makes
But
his
at least-
grand
yeah, but-
appearance,
but-
we gotta see his face. Like, come on.
Okay, but at least he has the mask still.
Yeah.
But that's,
He still has the helmet.
Is it
Does-
Mysterio?
It
Yeah,
is.
it's
yeah, it's
Mysterio.
played by Jake
Goes out
Gyllenhaal.
of his dome?
He does.
Yeah, but it's like at the very end. It's
But
like
at least he still has it.
I mean, that's just a hint towards it.
I guess.
I mean, that's the same reason. Okay, so like, if you argue that, it's the same reason.
So, sorry if the audio for me just fucks up because my dad just called and messed everything up.
Trying to really create like personas.
Yeah, thanks, Edward Alexander
But that's the
Meyer.
appeal of Mysterio. He's supposed to look ridiculous.
R.I.P.
Thanks,
Jesus.
Mickey's dad.
Thanks, Edward.
Fuck you for ruining the podcast.
Alright, well, time for the real Spider-Man fan to give off his list. The absolute worst Spider-Man movie, it has to be The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It just gets everything wrong about the character. And then second worst would be The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Like, I mean, it's whatever, but I mean, at least it's not Amazing Spider-Man 2. And then after that, Spider-Man 3, because it had so much potential, and it's sad to see Sam Raimi like direct a movie that's just mediocre. And then after that, funny enough, Spider-Man Homecoming. I mean, it's a decent movie, but it doesn't get Spider-Man right. And I hate the fact that Spider-Man's like a huge klutz. Like, there's nothing wrong with Spider-Man making mistakes, but when he's just acting like a flat-out idiot, it just kind of like loses the appeal for me. And then after that, it would have to be Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse. I did enjoy this movie, but I did feel like some of the pacing could have been fixed, and some of the licensed music held it back. And then second best, of course, would be the Spider-Man 2002. It's like the perfect way to like illustrate an origin story. Like, it doesn't feel too fast, but it doesn't feel too slow either. It's like the perfect pacing for an origin story. And then, of course, the OG, Spider-Man 2 from 2004.
What happened to Spider-Man 3?
I did say Spider-Man 3.
You did?
Alright, Eli, take us away.
Bye.